Listen, everybody wants the lifestyle, but nobody wants the mindset that builds it. Everybody wants wealth, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with it. A millionaire mind isn't found in a book, a podcast, or a course. It's built in the trenches of discipline, sacrifice, and hunger for more. Let me tell you the truth. You can't think like a victim and live like a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. You can't complain about your situation and expect abundance to fall into your lap. If you want to live different, you've got to think different. If you want to think different, you've got to act different. The shift into a millionaire mind begins with one radical, uncomfortable, undeniable truth. Your life is your responsibility, not your parents, not your boss, not the economy, not the government, not luck, fate, or timing. The moment you accept that everything you have, everything you lack, everything you tolerate, and everything you attract is connected to the choices you've been making, that is the moment your life finally changes. A millionaire mind doesn't wake up waiting for miracles. It becomes the miracle. It doesn't wait for someone to open a door. It builds the door, installs the hinges, and walks through it. Responsibility is not punishment, it is power. When you say it's on me, you're not admitting failure, you're announcing control, because if it's your fault, then it's also your fix. Most people live blaming. They blame the system. They blame their past. They blame their city. They blame their childhood. They blame everything except the one thing they can change, themselves. A millionaire mind doesn't play that game. The moment you blame someone, you hand them your power. You hand them your future, you hand them your destiny, but when you claim responsibility, you claim authority, you step into the world as a creator, not a complainer. Responsibility forces growth. When something goes wrong, you no longer ask, why me? You ask, what is this teaching me? When a door closes, you don't collapse, you adapt. When an opportunity slips, you don't panic, you prepare better. Millionaire minds treat every setback like a tuition fee. Every mistake is a lesson. Every loss is data. Every delay is protection. They don't crumble under pressure, they are forged by it. When you take responsibility, you begin to speak differently. You stop saying, I hope. You start saying, I will. You stop saying, I can't. You start saying, I'll learn. You stop saying, I'm stuck. You start saying, I'm building. You stop waiting for a perfect moment and start creating momentum. That is the birth of personal power. The greatest shift is this. Responsibility unlocks possibility. When you stop viewing life as something happening to you and start seeing it as something happening through you, everything begins to change. Your energy changes, your attitude changes, your confidence changes, your decisions change, and eventually your results change. Wealth, growth, success, they don't come from wishing. They come from ownership. When you say, my life is in my hands, then your future is no longer random. It becomes intentional, strategic, and unstoppable. Taking responsibility is hard. It requires honesty. It requires humility. It requires admitting where you've been slacking, slipping, and settling. But a millionaire mind would rather confront the truth than live in denial. Because truth transforms, and when you own everything, nothing can own you. This is the first secret. Take responsibility for your life, and everything in your life becomes possible. Your standards are the foundation of your destiny. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. Most people say they want success, but their standards tell a different story. They want wealth but tolerate laziness. They want success but tolerate excuses. They want abundance but tolerate fear. Your standards are not what you say, they are what you settle for, and a millionaire mind refuses to settle. When your standards are low, your life automatically shrinks to match them. You accept mediocre effort, you tolerate toxic people, you allow distractions to run your schedule, you let emotions run your decision-making, you let comfort dictate your future, but when you raise your standards, you instantly upgrade the level of life you're willing to participate in. You stop chasing motivation and start enforcing discipline. You stop hanging with anyone who drains you. You stop engaging in anything that steals your energy. You stop living in survival mode and start living with purpose. Your standards determine your habits, and your habits determine your outcomes. If you have millionaire habits, early mornings, focused time, intentional learning, consistent action, disciplined routines, zero excuses, your results will eventually reflect that mindset. But if your habits are built around procrastination, comfort, distraction, entertainment, and emotional decisions, then your life will stay exactly where it is. A millionaire mind sets standards that are higher than their emotions. High standards mean doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. They mean showing up when you're tired, practicing when no one is watching, improving when no one is clapping, and pushing forward when no one is supporting. Most people live by mood. Millionaires live by standard. Mood changes daily. Standards stay constant. When you raise your standards, you raise the expectation of who you are. You begin to walk differently, speak differently, work differently. You expect more from yourself. You demand more from your life. You stop allowing bare, minimum effort. You stop living at the level of comfort and start living at the level of excellence. The world responds to the energy you bring. When you move like a person who demands greatness, opportunities find you, resources find you, and the right people find you. A low standard is a silent agreement with mediocrity. A high standard is a declaration of self-respect. Your standards are a message to the universe about what you believe you deserve. You cannot build a millionaire life with poverty standards. You cannot achieve greatness with average expectations, and you cannot rise higher if you keep accepting less. When your standards rise, everything in your life rises with them: decisions, habits, environment, mindset, and ultimately success. You want a millionaire mind? Start by raising the lowest standards you've been accepting. Discipline is the currency of wealth. It is the bridge between desire and reality. Everyone dreams of a better life, but only disciplined people experience it. Discipline is not punishment. It's the ultimate form of self-respect. When you're disciplined, you tell yourself, I am worth the effort. A millionaire mind knows that discipline is the separating line between the successful and the unsuccessful. While motivation is temporary, discipline is forever. People look at wealthy individuals and see the cars, the homes, the freedom. But what they don't see are the thousands of disciplined choices that built that life. They don't see the nights where sleep was sacrificed for strategy. They don't see the mornings where comfort was traded for commitment. They don't see the weekends where friends partied while they planned. They don't see the years of practice, failure, refinement, and improvement. Discipline is invisible until the results become impossible to ignore. Most people break promises to themselves daily. They say they'll start tomorrow. They say they'll try again next week. They say they'll work when they feel ready. Discipline doesn't wait for readiness. Discipline shows up even when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're discouraged, and when you don't feel like it. Discipline turns average people into extraordinary results. A millionaire mind treats discipline like oxygen, essential, non-negotiable, daily. They don't rely on motivation because they know motivation can't be trusted. Some days you wake up hungry. Some days you wake up drained. Some days you're inspired. Some days you're frustrated. If your actions depend on your feelings, your future becomes unstable. Discipline removes that instability. Discipline makes your growth predictable. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it, you build confidence. You build integrity with yourself. You build mental muscle. You build momentum. And momentum is a force that most people never experience because they quit before it arrives. The truth is simple. Disciplined decisions compound. When you read daily, your knowledge grows. When you save consistently, your wealth grows. When you practice relentlessly, your skill grows. When you focus deeply, your progress grows. When you commit fully, your opportunities grow. Success is not built in a single moment. It is built in 1,000 disciplined moments. Discipline also protects you from distractions. The world is full of noise, temptations, shortcuts, and quick fixes. A disciplined mind doesn't fall for shortcuts because it understands that shortcuts rob you of growth. Discipline keeps you aligned with your purpose, not your impulses. Most failures aren't caused by lack of talent, they're caused by lack of discipline. A millionaire mind chooses the hard path now, so life becomes easier later. Most choose the easy path now and suffer the hard life later. Wealth, freedom, success, they all begin with the willingness to do what others won't. Discipline is the gatekeeper. If you want to enter the world of the successful, discipline is the price you must pay. Scarcity is a prison created by fear. Abundance is a mindset created by possibility. The difference between the two shapes the entire direction of your life. A scarcity mind sees limitation. There's not enough money. There's not enough opportunity. There's not enough time. A millionaire mind sees potential. How can I create more? How can I solve problems? How can I add value? Scarcity closes doors, abundance opens them. People trapped in scarcity think life is a competition for limited resources. They believe someone else's success takes away from theirs. They think opportunities are rare, success is lucky, and wealth is unreachable. This mindset keeps them stressed, jealous, fearful, and stuck. Scarcity creates small thinking, and small thinking creates small results. A millionaire mind understands that wealth is created, not discovered. Money flows to creativity, value, innovation, and problem solving. It is never about what the world gives you, it's about what you bring to the world. While scarcity asks, what if I fail? Abundance asks, what if I succeed? Scarcity fears taking risks. Abundance fears staying the same. Scarcity sees obstacles. Abundance sees strategies. When you adopt an abundance mindset, you stop seeing competition and start seeing collaboration. You stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing them as stepping stones. You stop thinking in terms of cost and start thinking in terms of investment. Scarcity shrinks your world, abundance expands it. Most people never experience abundance because they keep rehearsing limitations. They repeat the same negative beliefs. I'm not smart enough. I'm not capable. It's too late. I don't have the resources. A millionaire mind refuses to entertain those thoughts. It understands that beliefs shape action, and action shapes reality. When you believe in abundance, you behave in abundance. An abundance mindset creates resilience. When life hits, you don't crumble, you adjust. When the plan fails, you create a new plan. When something breaks, you fix it or build something better. You don't sit around complaining about what's missing. You work on creating what's possible. Abundance also changes your relationship with money. Instead of seeing money as something to fear losing, you see it as a tool for growth, freedom, and impact. Scarcity hoards money because it's afraid. Abundance invests money because it understands how to multiply it. Scarcity says, I can't afford it. Abundance says, how can I afford it? Scarcity looks at the price. Abundance looks at the value. A millionaire mind isn't reckless, it's resourceful. It doesn't ignore challenges, it outthinks them. It doesn't deny reality, it transforms it. The moment you switch from not enough to more than enough, you step into the mental space where wealth is built. The world doesn't give abundance. You create it with your perspective, your effort, and your belief. That is the secret. Your mind is either the gate blocking wealth or the door unlocking it. Your environment is either building your greatness or breaking your potential. Most people don't realize this, but your surroundings shape your standards, your energy, your expectations, and your mindset. You can have the dream, the talent, the hunger, but if you're surrounded by people who drain you, limit you, doubt you, criticize you, or stay stuck in the same cycle, your growth becomes almost impossible. A millionaire mind understands one thing clearly: elevation requires separation. You cannot rise while being anchored by people who refuse to move. When you stay around negativity, you start thinking negative. When you sit around quitters, you start believing quitting is normal. When you associate with complainers, you start seeing problems instead of possibilities. Humans are mirrors. We reflect the energy around us. Your environment can poison your potential without you noticing. A negative environment doesn't destroy you overnight, it slowly kills your ambition, your confidence, your fire. One joke at your dreams here, one discouraging comment there, one lazy influence next to you, and suddenly you're living a life that isn't even yours. But when you put yourself in the right environment, everything shifts. Being around people who push themselves will push you. Being around dreamers will make you dream bigger. Being around disciplined people will make you raise your own discipline. Energy is contagious, so you must choose what you want to catch. A millionaire mind doesn't stay where it feels good. It stays where it grows. Growth rarely feels comfortable, but it always feels right. This is why you must guard your circle like you guard your time. You must be selective with access. Not everyone deserves to be close to your purpose. Some people you love deeply, but you cannot let them influence your mindset. Some friendships belong in your heart, but not in your future. Some connections are seasonal, not lifelong. The moment you understand this, you start moving with clarity. Your environment also includes what you consume. The podcasts you listen to, the videos you watch, the posts you read, the people you follow, the music you play, all of it shapes your mind. If you feed your mind garbage, don't expect millionaire thinking. If you feed your mind comparison, don't expect confidence. If you feed your mind distractions, don't expect discipline. A millionaire mind feeds itself with knowledge, growth, wisdom, strategy, hunger, and vision. Your environment isn't just people and media, it's also your habits, your workspace, your room, the energy of your home. Chaos around you creates chaos inside you. A cluttered environment leads to a cluttered mind. A messy space leads to messy decisions. A millionaire mind keeps order because order fuels focus. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you must grow past anyone who refuses to grow with you. You don't have to announce your elevation. You just have to rise. Your environment is sculpting your future every second you spend in it. If you want to elevate your life, elevate the environment around your life. The moment you stop chasing money and start creating value, everything changes. Money is not the goal. Money is the result. It is the reward for the amount of value you bring into the world. People who chase money burn out quickly because money runs faster than emotions, faster than impatience, faster than desperation. But people with a millionaire mind don't chase money, they attract it by becoming valuable. The truth is simple. The world pays you for solving problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the reward you receive. If you want more income, you need to become more impactful. If you want higher earnings, you need higher value. The people who rise financially are the ones who say, "How can I help? What can I create? What can I improve? What can I solve?" They focus on contribution, not consumption. Most people never build wealth because they're only focused on what they can get, not what they can give. They want the paycheck, the benefits, the rewards, the recognition. They ask, "What's in it for me?" But the wealthy ask, "What can I deliver?" That's the shift. When you focus on the transformation you provide, money becomes a natural byproduct. A millionaire mind studies needs, they study trends, they study people, they study problems, they ask questions, they look for gaps in the world and fill those gaps with solutions. They build skills that the world respects, they create products people need, they offer services people will pay for, they don't wait for opportunities, they manufacture them. This mindset makes your life unstoppable because you stop depending on luck and start depending on value. When you have value, you can lose everything and rebuild it. You can move cities and still succeed. You can switch industries and still thrive. Value makes you untouchable. Money can be taken, value cannot. Creating value also shapes your character. When you focus on being useful, you stop being entitled. When you focus on service, you become more grateful. When you focus on improving others' lives, your own life expands. Money feels good for a moment. Impact feels good forever. A millionaire mind also understands that you must first create value in yourself before you can offer it to others. That means investing in your skills, your education, your health, your mindset, your discipline. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The more you grow, the more valuable you become. The more valuable you become, the more the world rewards you. Stop asking, how can I get rich? Start asking, how can I become valuable? Because when you master that question, money stops running from you and starts running toward you. Delayed gratification is the difference between those who wish and those who win. The average person wants everything now, the results now, the success now, the recognition now, the lifestyle now. But a millionaire mind knows that anything gained too quickly is often lost just as quickly. Real success is built through sacrifice, patience, and long-term thinking. Most people can't win because they keep trading long-term greatness for short-term comfort. This is why people stay stuck. They choose pleasure over progress, entertainment over improvement, comfort over discipline, and immediate satisfaction over lasting success. They want to party but not plan. They want luxury but not labor. They want freedom but not focus. They want results without the resilience required to earn them. But wealth, impact, mastery, these things don't show up overnight. They are built through thousands of micro decisions where you choose long-term gain over short-term relief. A millionaire mind understands the power of saying not now to unnecessary spending, not now to impulse decisions, not now to distractions, not now to temptations disguised as opportunities, not now to the easy path. They delay gratification not because they enjoy sacrifice, but because they understand the compound effect that sacrifice brings. When you delay gratification, you train your brain for discipline, you build a muscle of control, you strengthen your ability to focus, you break addictions to instant pleasure, you develop patience, and patience gives you power. Most people are slaves to their impulses. They act based on mood, emotion, and desire. Millionaire minds act based on goals, vision, and strategy. Delaying gratification also sharpens your decision making. When you're not driven by quick rewards, you can think clearly, invest wisely, and move intelligently. You stop chasing every shiny object and start pursuing what truly matters. You stop reacting to life and start designing your life. People who master delayed gratification don't fear time, they use time. They know that while others are celebrating early, they are preparing for victory later. While others are wasting money, they are investing it. While others are scrolling endlessly, they are studying endlessly. While others are distracted, they are developing. They are playing the long game, and here's the truth: the long game always wins. Your future self is watching every decision you make today. Every sacrifice becomes a seed, every seed becomes a harvest, every harvest becomes a life. A millionaire mind is always planting intentionally, knowing the harvest will come. You don't need to rush. You don't need shortcuts. You don't need approval. You just need the patience to delay temporary pleasures long enough to create permanent success. Your daily routine is the invisible architect of your future. People love talking about goals, dreams, and visions, but they rarely examine the habits that shape their days. Yet your habits tell the truth about your life. Your routine reveals whether you are building a millionaire mindset or sabotaging it. You cannot have millionaire results with a careless routine. A millionaire mind understands that discipline happens in the small moments, the moments nobody sees. The world sees success, but they don't see the structure behind it. They don't see the early mornings when you rise before the world wakes. They don't see the hours invested in learning. They don't see the sacrifices made for focus. They don't see the daily commitment to self-improvement. But every small decision, repeated consistently, carves the path to success. Your routine is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. If your routine is filled with procrastination, distraction, laziness, and inconsistency, you are telling your brain you don't deserve more. If your routine is filled with intention, structure, discipline, and focus, you are telling your brain you are preparing for greatness. A millionaire mind structures the day with purpose. They don't wake up hoping for productivity, they plan for productivity. They don't let the day control them, they control the day. They create time for growth, time for planning, time for execution, time for reflection. Their routine isn't random, it is strategic. People fail not because they are incapable, but because their routine is built for survival, not success. They wake up late, move without urgency, scroll endlessly, react instead of act, and wonder why they never rise. But the truth is clear. Your habits are training your future. Every choice is shaping the person you will be in the next year, 5 years, or decade. If you want a millionaire mindset, your routine must match the life you want, not the life you have. That means prioritizing learning over entertainment. That means setting boundaries on your time. That means saying no to anything that doesn't align with your vision. That means choosing growth even when it's inconvenient. That means showing up every day even when you feel nothing. Consistency is the real power behind a millionaire routine, not perfection consistency. Small actions done daily beat massive actions done occasionally. 10 pages of reading every day beats 1 book a month. 1 hour of focused work every day beats 8 hours of scattered effort. Saving a little consistently beats saving a lot randomly. Success compounds through consistency. The secret is simple. Your routine builds your reality. Your habits shape your future. Your structure determines your success. If you want a new life, build a new routine. Because a millionaire mind doesn't hope for a better future, it trains for it daily. Talent is a gift, but execution is a choice. Too many people rely on talent, potential, and natural ability, but those things mean nothing without consistent action. A millionaire mind knows that success doesn't go to the most talented, it goes to the most committed. You can be gifted, but if you don't execute, you stay average. You can be brilliant, but if you don't execute, no one will ever see your brilliance. Execution is what turns ideas into reality, dreams into results, and plans into progress. The world is full of people with great ideas that never went anywhere, not because they weren't capable, but because they never executed. They waited for the perfect moment. They waited for motivation. They waited for approval. They waited for confidence. And while they waited, someone else acted, someone less talented, someone less prepared, someone with fewer resources, but they executed, and execution beats talent every single time. Execution requires courage. It requires stepping into the unknown. It requires risking failure, judgment, and discomfort. Most people avoid execution because execution exposes you. It shows whether your dream is real or only imagined. It forces you to confront your weaknesses. It forces you to grow. That's why so many people stay trapped in planning. They love the feeling of potential because potential feels safe. But execution is where growth happens. A millionaire mind moves without waiting for the perfect plan. They know the plan becomes clear while they are moving. They take action, analyze results, adjust direction, and continue forward. They don't freeze when something doesn't work. They fix it, improve it, or replace it. They don't expect perfection. They expect progress. Execution also builds confidence. Every time you take action, you prove to yourself that you can. Every step builds momentum. Every win builds belief. Every failure builds experience. People think confidence leads to action, but the truth is action creates confidence. When you execute, you break the mental barriers holding you back. You stop being afraid of the unknown. You stop doubting yourself. You stop waiting and start becoming. Execution requires consistency more than intensity. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every day. Tiny progress repeated consistently becomes unstoppable momentum. You don't need giant leaps, you need daily steps. Even small execution grows into massive results over time. When you become a person who executes, the world responds differently. Opportunities start appearing. People start respecting you. Doors start opening, not because you're lucky, but because you're reliable. Because you're action-oriented. Because you're moving while others are still thinking. The difference between the life you have and the life you want is execution. The dream is real. The goal is reachable. The talent is there. What's missing is the commitment to act. Execution is the superpower that creates millionaires, and it's available to anyone willing to take the first step. You become what you repeatedly believe. Your life is always moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. If you believe you're capable, you will act capable. If you believe you're worthy, you will move like you're worthy. If you believe success is possible for you, you will chase it with conviction. But if your beliefs are rooted in fear, doubt, insecurity, or limitation, your life will shrink to the size of those beliefs. Most people never reach their potential because they are imprisoned by their own thoughts. They carry beliefs from childhood, from failure, from criticism, from comparison, from scarcity, from trauma, and they allow those beliefs to shape their future. They say, "I'm not good enough," and their actions follow. They say, "I'll never be successful," and their opportunities disappear. They say, "People like me don't win," and they stop trying before they even start. A millionaire mind knows the truth. You cannot outperform the story you tell yourself. If your internal narrative is small, your external results will be small. If your internal narrative is powerful, your external reality will reflect that power. The mind decides before the world confirms. This is why wealthy, successful, disciplined individuals guard their beliefs with intensity. They refuse to entertain self-doubt. They refuse to repeat negative phrases. They refuse to let fear dictate their decisions. They understand that your thoughts don't just influence your behavior, they shape your identity. And your identity shapes everything else. Your beliefs are not fixed. You can break them, reshape them, replace them. You can unlearn limitation and learn possibility. You can unlearn fear and learn courage. You can unlearn weakness and learn strength. The moment you change your beliefs, you begin to change your life. A millionaire mind speaks to itself differently. Instead of saying, "I can't," it says, "I'll figure it out." Instead of saying, "I'm not ready," it says, "I'm preparing." Instead of saying, "This is too hard," it says, "This is where I grow." Instead of saying, "I don't know how," it says, "I'll learn." This internal language sets the tone for powerful action. Beliefs also shape habits. If you believe you're disciplined, you act disciplined. If you believe you're a winner, you make winning decisions. If you believe you are chosen for greatness, you rise above excuses. Your beliefs create your behaviors, and your behaviors create your results. The strongest beliefs come from repetition. You build a millionaire mind the same way you build a muscle, by training it daily. By feeding it empowering thoughts, by exposing it to growth, by surrounding it with people who think bigger, by studying success, by removing negativity, by refusing to say anything about yourself that destroys your identity. You become the story you repeat. If you repeat strength, you become strong. If you repeat possibility, you become unstoppable. If you repeat abundance, you attract abundance. A millionaire mind is built belief by belief, thought by thought, day by day. Your mind is the most valuable real estate you will ever own. What you plant in it determines the life you harvest. Listen to me. Everything you just heard means nothing. Nothing. If you walk out of here and keep living the same way you've always lived. A millionaire mind is not a gift. It's not an accident. It's not something some people are born with and others are not. A millionaire mind is a decision to stop settling, stop shrinking, stop apologizing for wanting more, and start showing up with the kind of hunger that refuses to die. You've got to make up your mind right now. Are you done playing small? Are you done letting your circumstances write the story of your life? Are you done waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect support? Because let me tell you something, there is no perfect moment. There is only this moment, and what you decide to do with it. The people who rise, the people who break generational limits, the people who build lives others dream about, they are not special. They are not chosen. They are not lucky. They simply reached a point where quitting was no longer an option, where giving up became unacceptable, where comfort became the enemy, and they decided to build the mind that matched the life they wanted. And you are standing at that point right now. You have a choice today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. A choice to start thinking like the version of yourself you haven't met yet. A choice to honor the calling inside you. A choice to stop waiting for someone to save you and start becoming the person who saves themselves. You want a millionaire mind? Then act like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your family depends on it. Your future depends on it. Your destiny depends on it. Stop speaking fear. Stop thinking lack. Stop feeding the old you. Feed the vision. Feed the discipline. Feed the hunger. Feed the purpose that keeps you awake at night. You have one life, one shot, and it's time you stop wasting it living below your potential. The world needs what you carry. Your gifts are not accidents. Your dreams are not random. Your desire for more is not greed. It's direction. It's guidance. It's the signal that you are made for more than survival. You are made for impact. So walk out of here tonight with fire in your chest. Walk out with clarity. Walk out with conviction. Walk out ready to build the mindset that creates wealth, freedom, and legacy. No more excuses. No more delays. No more one day. Today is the day. This is the moment. Your future starts now. Go get what's yours. Go build what you've been dreaming about. Go become who you were destined to be, because the secret of a millionaire mind is simple. It's not about money. It's about who you become on the way. Now go become unstoppable.